I see now why my father and grandfather lost themselves in matters of state and war. The realm we have built is as stable as it has ever been, but I worry for its future. My son resists every attempt to learn a shred of responsibility, despite all efforts to encourage him. All I can do now is surround him with capable people, and hope that when I'm gone, the lords and ladies of the realm will band together behind my son and keep our kingdom strong.
Hello Wanderers, welcome back to our Crusader Kings 3 roleplay series following the House of Drengot. And welcome back to the Kingdom of Sardinia, the recently expanded Kingdom of Sardinia. With the acquisition of the Balearic Islands by good Queen Fredesende, the realm is more powerful than it has ever been before. But before we jump into the meat of the episode, I do just want to bring up something that came up in the last episode, and that was the coat of arms of our new kingdom here. And as you can see, it is quite a bit different than it was in the last episode. Now, I have a feeling that this is going to be a contentious design. Some of you may like it, some of you may hate it, but for all of those who are unsure, allow me to explain my reasoning behind this, and perhaps I will win some of you over. Now, somebody made a very good point in one of the comments in a previous episode that the new flag that we had done in our previous episode, the double-headed black eagle on a field of black and white, was very similar to the Kingdom of Sicily, and that is indeed correct. However, thanks to another wonderful commenter who gave me a little bit of help to manage the designs of these coat of arms, I was able to expand the options that we had available to us. Now, as you can see, we do have the red and white diamonds of House Drengot here on our background, but instead of the black eagle, I decided to go with the 4 Moors of Sardinia. Now, as far as I could tell, and if you are able to correct me in the comments, feel free, but as far as I can tell, there is no basis to having a double-headed black eagle as part of the Sardinian flag. I couldn't find anything like that. I did look this up a little bit. As far as I can tell, the 4 Moors are actually definitely the well-established historical coat of arms of Sardinia. So that's why we added those on there. And as you can see, we do have this yellow cross that is also related to the Kingdom of Sardinia's flag, which is the same as here, the Duchy of Sardinia. But we changed the color to yellow, and that is because we were bringing it back to our roots in the Duchy of Capua. So instead of the red cross, we are using the yellow cross. So I think even though the design may not be the best looking, I think that it makes sense within the context of the game, and it makes sense in the context of how heraldry and coat of arms would actually have been developed. It wasn't just about what looks cool. It was all based in a lot of important symbology for the houses and the areas that they ruled over. So I think this actually makes a lot of sense, but feel free to let me know what you think in the comments. Coat of arms, not too big of a deal though. We do have more important matters to take care of. And one of those matters is the problem of Tancred. Now, you guys well know Tancred has been a layabout almost his entire life. Bit of a liability almost, and let's face it, he accidentally killed a man in a duel and thus dishonored his own name. And now he has also taken to the drink, and he has taken to the drink hard, just like his wife Sybil. Good old Tancred here likes to find himself at the bottom of a bottle of good Italian wine. So that is obviously quite concerning to us. We will obviously need to deal with this situation, but I think the fact is that can we really have Tancred on the council at this stage? He's been coming to the council meetings drunk. He's been making a fool of himself, a fool of the family. I don't think that we can really justify having him on the council right now. So we are going to put Mayor Manfredu onto the council in his stead. Tancred is gonna need to get his act together, but we can't rely on him right now. And so hopefully this will be a stark lesson to him of what he needs to do in order to learn some responsibility. There are a couple other minor things that we do need to take care of. We do have a couple of our knights who need marriages. Gerard de Bourg, obviously one of our most able commanders and an excellent man, an excellent knight. He will be rewarded in the future, but first we are going to get him a wife. Now, we could obviously min-max this, find some really amazing characters for our court, but we are not going to be doing that. We are going to look for something that makes sense, that seems plausible. And I did have a little look earlier, and I did see that there was a character. Let's see if we can find her here. Yes, Amberga de Hauteville. She's actually not even a terrible character, honestly, but she is a Hauteville, and she is, in a nearby region. So I think that would make an excellent option for Gerard here. So we're going to arrange that marriage, and I do believe we had one other unmarried courtier here. Yes, Adam Longspay. He is another one of our knights. And I think rather than looking abroad for a marriage, I think we are going to find someone from within our court. Yes, Agnes, our court physician, seems like a good option as well. We will allow those two to get married. So that should be most of the members of our court taken care of. I don't think that we have anybody else really here who we need to manage right now. I do think we have a prisoner here. And what shall we do with him? I think we're going to keep him imprisoned. He's not really... There's no point of really getting his conversion and keeping him in our courts. No, we're just gonna keep him in prison for now. The unfortunate victim of one of our past wars. So I do believe that is most of the internal matters taken care of. We can imprison Mayor Otavia. She is a fornicator, but we're not going to do so. She's not married. So honestly, even though she had a child out of wedlock, I don't think we're going to bother bringing her in for that matter. It's not really of our concern. So what do we do from here? Well, obviously we want to look for more expansions. Queen Fredesende is not done yet. She has a legacy to build. She needs to expand upon what her father had built for her and leave something even greater for her son, whether or not he deserves that. So to that end, I do believe we are going to be looking towards the Iberian coast here. It appears that the Reconquista, even though we've got a pretty decently powerful Castile, and Navarra is still surviving here as well, it does appear that the Reconquista has stalled a little bit. It doesn't look to be expanding too much, and the Mualadi rulers here appear to be kind of inching their way up towards France and elsewhere. But as I was kind of looking around at the region and just kind of taking stock of everything before the episode began, I did notice something of even greater concern. And that is that Prince Bishop Rosso of Genoa is currently under attack by a coalition of rulers. Emir Mundir of Valencia, Emir Antalis of the Tamamid Emirate, and Emir Abbas of the Hudid Emirate have all banded together. These three pretty powerful rulers here have banded together to take Genoa in a holy war, and nobody has offered to assist the good Prince Bishop here. Now, this may not be directly our business. We don't have an alliance with the Bishop of Genoa. But consider it this way. If they were to take Genoa, they would have easy access to our northern coast, and pirates could easily attack our settlements and such here in Sardinia. So we obviously need to prevent this. So we are actually going to join in the Prince Bishop's War in order to protect our own lands, and in some respects also to weaken our enemies here in Iberia. I think we can kind of use this as a bit of an excuse or a bit of a reason for us to act against the rulers here in Iberia. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to rally all of our troops in preparation for war. If we can, I would like to get some money from the Pope, but we don't seem to be able to do that just yet. So we will hope that he will be able to bless us with some coin later on. Greetings, my impressive liege. I have arrived in Cagliari to pay homage to you, glorious queen, as a show of my loyalty. I bring you rich gifts worthy of your majesty as a token of my goodwill and servitude. Well, of course, Duke Marco, you may enter. I wait patiently on my throne for the arrival of the good Duke, who is soon announced and ushered before me. He kneels in deference as attendants bring forth his gifts of coin and precious objects. The oath is taken, and scribes record his pledges to serve the Kingdom of Sardinia. At last I bid the Duke arise, confirming my satisfaction and Marco's rights to the lands he rules in my stead. Thank you for the generous gifts, Duke Marco. And that increases our court grandeur, which is pretty awesome. Our armies are ready and prepared to do battle with the invaders, who have decided they'd rather siege down our lands than go for Genoa itself. It looks like Genoa is just going to hang out there. Well, if that's what the Prince Bishop chooses to do, we will take all the glory in this war. Who is leading our armies? Obviously, it is the newlywed Gerard de Bourg. And let us see how well he can prove himself here. The comfort of a friend. There are a few things I enjoy more than Maud's company. We spent an evening bothering the servantry, needling them about every small mistake and complaining about every detail. Who knew that petty acts of torment truly has a way of easing a troubled mind? After this short break, I felt more at ease than I had in a long time. I'm lucky to have a friend like Maud. Our good sister has always been a really excellent friend to us and continues to be one even now. So here we go. We are engaged in battle here with the forces there. Our knight Manfredo was wounded. That is, well, not unexpected. Our knight maimed one of the Wallis. And Adam Longspay wounded one of the Wallis as well. And that appears to be a pretty good victory. Let us move in and try to take the battle to them once more. They don't seem to be able to escape the island here, so we may be able to utterly defeat their forces here in Majorca. So this looks like it will be another swift victory on behalf of Gerard de Bourg. Our knight Duke Jonathan killed the Wali. You know what? Jonathan has been a pretty good knight. You know, he did learn from King Jordan himself. So Duke Jonathan has, for the most part, proved himself to be a better man than his father was. And we can appreciate that. He is defending his own lands in this case, so it does make a little bit of sense. And let's chase them down one more time. Let us see if we can finish off their army. They try to reach their boats that they had stored here on the beaches, but we managed to catch them in time. We do have an army sieging down Minorca, so we're going to have to deal with that situation immediately after this. And there we go. Oh, looks like we didn't finish them off just yet. So let's keep the fight going here. 4 battles in a row, just following all around the island and crushing them time after time, giving them no chance to prepare. The army is weakened, and no doubt they are quite caught off guard here. Actually, we were able to defeat them so utterly that all of their forces had to surrender, and Emir Mundir ibn Ismail of Valencia was captured in that battle. He had nowhere to go. You know, you're on an island. We captured all your ships. What else was he supposed to do? So that should be the war won there. I don't even think we're going to need to move our armies here into Minorca, so long as the good Prince Bishop understands that he can enforce his demands at any time here. Anytime. Oh, wow. Just in the nick of time. Looks like he was able to enforce those demands. So the Prince Bishop gets pretty much everything out of this, but we do get a little bit of prestige, and we also get a big boost to the opinion of Prince Bishop Rosso. So that is awesome. That is pretty much exactly what we could have hoped for in that case. We will ransom these 2 counts back to their own lands to get a little bit of money from that. So as you can see, 3 pretty good battles there. Captured quite a few prisoners and defeated them pretty soundly there each time, and that appeared to be enough to win the war. Once Valencia was swiftly defeated, the Tamamids and the Hudids were quick to think the better of their plan there. So that was a pretty good victory all told. However, I don't think we are done there. Like I said, that was all just a pretense for our own invasion and our own entry into the Reconquista. So without any time to delay, we are actually going to declare a holy war for the Shakedom of Tarragona. And as I said, we shall be raising all of our armies once again to do battle here. So we'll just let our armies gather up. That should be plenty. I don't think we're going to need to call in any allies. We should be able to beat both of their armies here, the Amarids and the forces of Sheikh Sidra ibn Musa. I don't think we're going to need to worry about that too much. I was having a pleasant, if vapid, chat with Amberga about various mundane matters. The conversation drifted to the topic of our favorite foods, and she asked me, "What was the last meal you ate yesterday?" "I had a delicious meal," I say with confidence. "It was a wonderful... Wait, now. What was it again?" I stand there awkwardly for a few seconds, trying to remember exactly what I ate. In the end, I gave up and we talked about other things. For the rest of the day, though, I racked my brain trying to remember, to no avail. It was only a day ago. My memory can't be that bad. How odd I forget what I ate yesterday so soon. Very odd indeed. While we ponder that, Gerard de Bourg is once again leading our troops in glorious victory here. Well, hopefully glorious victory. And it looks like we do have a significant advantage here. Adam Longspay maimed mine who did, which is well done. Adam Longspay, he's a little bit new to our court. I believe we got him in a recent event, but he's proved himself pretty well. He is an ambitious and brave man, so much like Gerard de Bourg, Adam Longspay is a pretty good knight. There we go. We shall simply siege down their lands here and hope for that. I am reminded of one other thing that I did want to look into before we get all the other stuff going, and that was bringing back Sybil Carling to our court. She has been in the court of Count Ulrich of Maastricht for quite some time, and we want to bring her back. She's pretty close, so we're going to start a sway scheme against her because she does have some of our grandchildren with her, and I'd like to bring them back so that we can kind of have an influence over their education here. So hopefully Sybil will come around and join us once more. We can choose a perk, and we're going to get the cheaper mercenaries just in case we need them. Could be useful, but it looks like we won't have much need of mercenaries just yet. And there we go. Easily defeated their forces there. We captured Emir Abdul Hassan ibn Hakam. And, well, he should be able to fetch us a nice ransom there at some point. We'll keep him in prison for now, though. There's no point of releasing our enemy before the war is done. Gerard de Bork leads the siege while the enemy forces attempt in vain to try to raise that siege. But no doubt they shall suffer an utter and sound defeat once more. And there you go. The siege does not even need to continue, as we did capture Sheikh Sidre after the battle outside the walls of Tarragona. So I do believe that we shall be enforcing our demands. Hostages taken by all war participants will be released. Well, perhaps we shall get a few ransoms before we do that then, shall we? We can ransom the Emir. He can't give us the full amount of money, but that's okay. Can ransom these Walis. Can ransom this Sheikh. Can we ransom you? Yep, we can ransom you as well, and you shall remain in prison. So let's let that run for just a little bit. You can see just a bunch of pretty swift victories here. Nothing really too major to look at there. And we are collecting in all of our money there. Looks like we are good to go. Let us enforce our demands. So we will claim that territory for Christendom. And there we go. That was a swift and sure victory there by our forces. And now we do have ourselves over the domain limit. So we should be passing off this land to someone. And honestly, who is a more deserving than the good knight Gerard de Bork? Honestly, he is not only a pretty decent man, humble, brave, wrathful, but that's pretty good trait in this case. You know, he's married to a de Hauteville, so that's a fairly prestigious marriage for a knight such as himself. And honestly, all told, he pretty much earned that for himself. So yes, we will be granting you the title of the County of Tarragona. Serve us well, Count Gerard de Bork. So that is a pretty good start. But like I said, this is all just part of our long campaign. And so that is not something that is going to end with the capture of the Shakedom of Tarragona. And well, look how this works out. My Chancellor, Duke Marco, has worked hard to convince our neighboring realms and vassals that the peace treaty I entered with Emir Abdul Hassan of Amarid is flawed, illegitimate, and unfair to me. I am once again free to declare war upon him as I please. Good job, Duke Marco. Well done indeed. And, well, I mean, like I was saying, we do want to continue our expansion, and honestly, if we can basically create a little buffer here in the Pyrenees, or just south of them anyways, that could give us a pretty good launching point to really continue this Reconquista. So considering all the work that Duke Marco just put in, I don't think we have any reason not to declare another holy war for this duchy here. So let us continue. Now, we are going pretty heavy on the wars, but these are going by quick. You know, it's only been, let's see, we've only been at war really for 1 or 2 years here. So it's not like we're spending decades at war or anything like that. No, this is all just part of one campaign. The battle here to protect Genoa was the start of it, and we've just kind of continued it throughout the last year or two. So we aren't going to raise our troops on our islands. We are going to have our staging point here. It'll take a little bit longer for us to raise them, but I think we should get our troops up before he can get the majority of his men raised there himself. Yeah, so there we go. He only has 222 men, so honestly, he doesn't really have much of a chance of defending himself unless some allies come in. And, well, that is quite sad. How can a heart endure this kind of pain without breaking? It cannot be possible. Yet here I am, my heart beating on whilst yours has gone quiet. Oh, Gilbert, my darling, life will not be the same without you. At least the memories remain. Poor... Well, that's actually pretty sad considering we do appear to be losing our memory, so... Damn, this last little line here hits pretty hard. So yeah, our husband, King Gilbert, has passed away, and I mean, let's face it, King Gilbert has been a good man ever since he came to our courts during King Jordan's time. He has been, well, that was back when he was still Duke Jordan. He's been an able chancellor and a good husband, a good father. It is sad to see him go. That does put Tancred in control of Napoli himself. So his wife is now brought over, which is perfectly fine, I suppose. At least she's back in our realm. Hopefully, Tancred will take this opportunity to learn a little bit of ruling here. He does have, we'll just let him have this little bit of land. And hopefully he will learn to rule it well. We will see, though. We shall see. He doesn't really like us that much. But, I mean, what can we really expect? We did remove him from the council. And, yeah, he's not super happy about that. But I'm sorry, Tancred. You're just going to have to tough it out. What are you going to do? Start a rebellion against your own mother? Don't even think about it. Looks like the Houdids have joined in the fight here, which is fine, honestly, if they want to throw their troops at the unbreakable wall that is our glorious Norman army. They are more than welcome to attempt to do so. So let us... Tancred has created the Liberty faction against us. Oh, Tancred. That is... Not the best. I mean, he's probably, he's just being a little rebellious. This is just a phase, I'm sure. So we won't be too concerned about that unless it becomes a problem. Oh, we do have an inspired person that can be sponsored. Looks like he wants to make a sculpture. He is very competent at his craft. $50? Yeah, we could use some stuff to improve our courtroom here. And we do have an event as well. Overt overindulgence. My queen, your guest Jasper, he won't stop eating roasted almonds. My Archbishop Rainer stammers. Right at this moment I spot Jasper exiting the pantry, carrying a pile of roasted almonds in both of his arms. Is something the matter, my liege? Jasper says, loudly chewing on a biscuit. You ate the royal roasted almonds to the dungeon? That seems like a bit much. By God, man, pull yourself together. We would gain 200 stress? Wow. Because we're vengeful, cynical, and cynical. Okay, that doesn't really... I don't really get that. Or you better pay for that. We gain stress because we are vengeful? I feel like... Oh, because it's saying that we will... Apparently this is a justifiable crime? Who is this guy? Jasper Spanham Ortenberg. Are you from prestigious family there, Jasper? Not really. Your father was a mayor. I mean, did he come in and steal our royal almonds? I mean, yeah, okay, sure. We'll imprison the man. We are vengeful. And you know what? I think we were intending to snack upon those royal almonds ourselves. So, you know, you can spend a little bit of time in prison here, Jasper, and learn your lesson. You don't eat almonds that aren't yours. That is something that is important for you to learn. There we go. We did take control of their capital, and we are going to move in and attack their army there. I can hear my knight Kenlachen muttering to himself from across the hall. Who is this guy? I didn't know we had a knight named Kenlachen. He's Gaelic. Okay. Where'd this guy come from? I need something great, something epic to make my creation stand out. Oh, this was the guy that we just hired to craft us this thing. But what? Just what? When his spirited eyes meet mine, he breaks into a huge smile and waves to me. My lady, what an amazing idea. Just perfect. What do you think of adding your family's motto to your commission? What is our family's motto? Endurance without wanting. Yeah, sure. That sounds lovely. Let's get a little bit of extra renown there. You know what? I think we're going to let their armies meet up here, and then we're going to attack them both at the same time. There we go. All right, Gerard de Bourg. Make this happen. Our knight Adam Longspay wounded one of their enemies there. I had that on a little bit higher speed than I thought, but earlier today I heard about how there are other races similar to humans, but instead of having two eyes like us, they have one eyes or three. They are said to live at the far corners of the earth in savage and barbaric lands. Why do humans possess two eyes now that I think of it? They're fanciful tales conjured by storytellers to entertain. We are cynical, so I do believe that this makes a lot more sense there. We have captured his grandson and a couple other prisoners in the siege of Barcelona. Oh, looks like his wife or one of his children's wives or something along those lines. Well, that's quite good. Let us continue to siege down his lands here. The war is almost won. So we will continue the sieges here, and we do have... Oh, well, we're not going to get another spouse at this point. There is no point. We are a 61-year-old woman at this point, so why would we bother with that? Just in case anything interesting happened in this battle. Look how many more knights they had, but I mean, nobody can defeat Norman knights, honestly. We killed a few of theirs, wounded a few more. I've gotten an idea in my attempts to align Countess Sybil to my interests with the right arguments. I can convince her that we're not acting in our own interest, but for the Lord herself. Well, I mean, she's not actually zealous, so we'll keep to diplomatic niceties. We don't actually really even need to win her over anymore now, so I think we're going to end the swaying scheme since she's back into our realm. The purpose of that is now no longer necessary. You know what? I think if they gather up once more, I think we're just going to go and do battle with them. I think a third and decisive battle should win this war for us. My friend Maud stops me in the hall with a beaming smile. Ah, there you are, Fredesende. I have spoken to Kenlachen. I hear he is making a sculpture for you. I couldn't resist a visit to his workshop. I talked to him about how to meet your expectations. I think you will like the results. Our good sister, Princess Maud, has been just the best of friends. Thank you, Maud. And our artifact will be of slightly higher quality. Yeah, I don't think we're going to bother with the siege. I think we'll just take the battle to them here. We are pretty close to winning it, so one more battle should convince them not to act against us anymore. Can we get any money from the Pope? Will the Pope give us money? It doesn't look like it, which is unfortunate. We could use some papal coin, but oh well, we'll just do this on our own. Swift battle here. Adam Longspay maimed one of the muftis. And there we go. We are able to win the war. Obviously, we're not at 100%, but Queen Fredesende does not need to be have wars at 100% because of one of her perks. So that is this war won. We can enforce our demands, and all of these lands will fall into our realm. Do you accept our offer here? To the cold-hearted Queen Fredesende, may you be sewn up alive in the belly of a dead camel. You are a much greater foe than I imagined. In order to put an end to this bloodshed, I will comply with your demands. And there we go. We now have a nice big chunk of Sardinia added to our lands here. And, well, we could pass some of these lands out, but rather than doing it ourselves, I think we are going to put these lands in the hands of the good Count Gerard de Bourg. We're just going to give him all of these. We'll let him keep the ones that he wants. And, oh, let's see if we can we usurp the... Oh, we can create the Duchy of Barcelona. So we will do that. We're going to create the Duchy of Barcelona. And we're going to give that duchy to Gerard de Bourg. Like I said, he has served us incredibly well. He has a prestigious marriage here to Countess Amberga of the de Hautevils. So I don't see any reason why not. Why not make this good man and good knight a duke? So there we go. We will give you all of the titles in the Duchy of Barcelona, and you can do with those as you will. So now Duke Gerard of Barcelona is a powerful vassal, but he is a loyal vassal as well. Indeed, a very loyal vassal. So there we go. Now we have a pretty decent chunk of land here in Iberia with which to expand. I wonder if we can modify his feudal contract. Can we make you a march? No, we do not have the burrs in innovation just yet. But if we get the opportunity, we will do that. We will make this a march. So yeah, that is a pretty good little, well, more than little. That's actually a decent sized chunk of land there that we have taken here in Iberia, and a good chance for expansion. We could look now towards Valencia and try to seal off the Pyrenees, I should say. Go against the Hudids or Valencia there. Queen Fredesende may be old. She may be slowly losing her memory. She may have lost her dear husband. But she will be throwing herself into matters of war and of state just like her father did in order to build this legacy for her son, who will hopefully prove himself worthy of it. But we shall discover all of that in the next episode. If you guys enjoyed this, please leave a like, leave a comment on what you think should happen next. And if you enjoyed the series, definitely subscribe to the channel. You can watch more of these episodes in the future and more episodes from our clan Steercar playthrough as well. Until the next one, I have been Stray. You guys have all been absolutely wonderful, and we will see you in the next episode.